Oh yeah,
Yes,
like
it's working.
It's catching us. Yes,
Sure.
it works.
Well, whatever that Yes Fest was.
It's Todd having a stroke.
Do you smell toast?
That's what is it? Toast. Also, I heard maple syrup is a thing that you smell too.
I thought it was cinnamon.
I always thought it's
Probably
cinnamon
cinnamon.
or toast. Or burnt toast.
Or cinnamon toast crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or whatever time of the day may be for you. Welcome to Mother Base Radio. I'm one of your hosts, Todd, and as always, I'm joined by my co-hosts, Benny Garza and Alex Capello, and this is a bit different. Kind of have a bit of an announcement to make, and one that's been more or less not a long time coming, but it's been coming for a while. It was going to happen, but Mother Base Radio is ending. Not after this episode. It's basically going to continue at least until the last week of this month. As of recording of this intro, which is December 5th, Monday, December 5th. Basically about 3 more weeks or so, and then the podcast is done. So to anyone who listens to this podcast regularly, and if you have, thank you for putting up, with us. This podcast was always meant to be a practice run. It was meant to get everyone involved, comfortable in front of a microphone, comfortable with the idea of being recorded, and even more so comfortable with the idea of it being posted somewhere on social media, for other people, like-minded people to consume, to enjoy, to critique, to like, dislike. But, a practice run, I think there is a limit to that, and we've gone, I'm thinking about it now, without counting missing episodes, about 40 episodes. And that's quite a bit for any podcast, whether successful or not. And if anything, I'm very happy with consistency. The idea that we've been getting together week after week and doing this thing. And thankfully, over time, the editing has gotten better. At least I think so. It's not perfect. It's not amazing, but, I'm learning Audacity as we go. And thankfully, the one thing that I know is an absolute truth is that the audio quality has gotten significantly better thanks to us acquiring some, decent microphones and a mixer. And it definitely makes things sound a lot crisper. It definitely makes the audio sound a lot more, I guess, professional or, like believable, basically up until like episode 25 or 6 or 7, or maybe in the 30s. I don't remember at this point. We were using a boom mic that was meant for a DSLR camera. It's meant to be attached to a camera. It's not meant for that many people to be recording off of. And I've listened to, those episodes since, or like little snippets of them. And it's like, wow, huge difference. And plus that was a year ago. So our ideas and our thoughts have changed, over the past couple months. Mother Base Radio was meant to be, as I said before, a practice run, and it was meant to pave way for something different. And next year we're going to do something very different from what we're doing here. There's still going to be some kind of a podcast, which actually may not be as different as this one. I know I hyped that up for a second. But it'll be different enough. There's going to be an additional layer that, to be honest, we've been kind of toying around with this idea for probably 2 years by now, but it never came to fruition. But we're going to give it a shot. We're going to test it out. And if we like it, then we're going to post that as a podcast. And, unlike this podcast, which is, this one is put up on YouTube. It's not necessarily put up publicly. Like, we just share it with people on our Facebook group, Mother Base. But hopefully this new idea, this new format, will be basically uploaded to the public and uploaded for anyone to listen to. So, just a quick note that, this is ending very soon. I'd like to thank anyone who has listened to the podcast, even if it's been in snippets, because podcasting is a relatively easy thing to do. Actually, you just have to get people who are like-minded, or they don't necessarily have to be on the same page with you, but people that you can converse with about anything you're passionate about, and you can grab a microphone, you can grab your phone, and record something and put it up on SoundCloud or YouTube or wherever you're going to put it up on. And so from that perspective, it's very easy to do. So anyone can do it. And there are hundreds, if not thousands, of podcasts, and we're just, a drop in the water. But I enjoy doing it, and everyone else involved enjoys doing it. So we're going to keep doing it, but hopefully it'll be different, and it'll be way more interesting. But yeah, so we're gonna get back into the show. And I believe we're still talking about Cinnamon Toast Crunch. We'll see just in a second. So thanks for joining us. And let's get back to the show.
Speaking of cinnamon toast crunch, I actually have some.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I haven't had that in never.
You could put it into your cup of coffee and have coffee cinnamon toast crunch.
Oh damn!
And then die of loneliness.
It literally says it on the back of the ingredients. Loneliness is number 3.
Loneliness, suicidal tendencies,
depression, all rolled into one. So
one convenient package.
One convenient
but the fourth ingredient is do it, you pussy.
Do it, you pussy.
Yeah. We all know what it is.
That's a very long ingredient.
It takes time to make.
I mean,
it takes time and dedication to do it.
You're supposed to put it in the microwave for 10 minutes.
Put it in the microwave for fuck. That's an option. It's right next to popcorn. A lot of people ignore it.
The fuck option. You just look at your microwave. It's there.
The fuck option.
Speaking of fuck.
Yes, I'm listening.
There was some fucks given and not so many fucks given. When was the awards?
Yesterday?
Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday night. Yesterday was nothing. Nothing happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just crazy.
No, you're not. So, did all of you get a chance to watch
No.
a good portion of it?
No. Not at fucking all.
Seriously?
I didn't see any of the Game Awards.
Oh, okay. All right.
I just caught the winners.
Yeah, we saw the special Kojima announcement and who won.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all. That's literally it.
That's
all that happened.
I would like to say that I wish I would say that makes up most of the show, but it doesn't, because the show is literally advertisement after advertisement.
Yeah.
And then world premiere over
Assad Quizzle. Assad Quizzle.
Now, that was today.
That was today.
Quizzle
Batch was today. Quizzle Batch was not Thursday, but Quizzle Batch can be Thursday if you want him to.
Quizzle Batch is
Quizzle
forever.
Batch Day.
Quizzle Batch is forever.
Is that Quizzle Batch Day?
We're secretly the Assad Quizzle Batch fan club.
I mean, fuck, there's a Pokemon named Quizzle Batch in one of our games.
This is true.
You decide
my
whose it
current
is.
stand's name is Assad Quizzle Batch.
That's true. That's true.
The power to give you a great Sony experience.
Assad Quizzle Batch.
And to prove that Capcom is alive and well. And most definitely not a rotten corpse in the ditch.
Next year, they should just call the PlayStation Experience the Quizzlebosh Experience 2017.
It's Quizzle Batch doing everything. He's at a DJ booth. Right. He has a giant head of himself on while he's DJing.
Right.
And then, like, every now and then he'll touch the ear of the giant Quizzle Batch, like he's just getting news in. Mm-hmm. He's like, it's time for the new world premiere of DJ Jesus, and like new shit appears.
Right. And it's like all the panels are just him.
Yeah.
Every single panel.
All
is
the
just
panels.
Him. Hey, we're gonna hear new stuff about Last of Us 2. We're gonna have Neil
with special producer Quizzle Batch,
executive producer Assad Quizzle Batch. And then half of the time he just starts talking about the new sandals he bought.
Yeah.
At Macy's. But yeah, what the fuck, that came out of nowhere.
It's to prove that he's normal and that you can connect to him.
We can connect to him. He's a human being.
He doesn't drink liquor. He drinks orange juice in the morning. He's not a crazy man. He just wants to live a normal life.
Okay. Orange juice. I like orange juice.
Who doesn't?
Mango.
I prefer.
You don't like it, Capello?
I like orange juice.
You don't like it?
Apple juice?
I prefer apple.
You're an apple juice person?
In the morning?
Yeah. I like apple juice whenever. I just like apple juice.
You might be a toddler, like baby Gus. But don't worry, Capello. I drink just as much apple juice as baby Gus because I steal his rations.
I don't fucking get that. Like people drink essentially fermented grape juice, but you get shit as an adult for drinking apple juice.
Apple juice is fucking awesome. And if
you drink wheat, like
wheat?
Come on.
Oh, beer.
Beer.
It's true.
Fermented apple juice.
Apple cider.
Apple
cider is really
so
good.
I haven't had that in a while.
What are you, a fucking child?
Apple cider's good. Have you ever had Reds? That's technically alcoholized apple. That
cider. Yeah.
Alcoholized is not a word. Don't pay attention to me. But I think that what a lot of people were paying attention to, transition, was the Game Awards.
No, that was actually that was a good transition.
Such a subtle.
Thank you.
Doucement.
No, don't ruin it.
Do you know what doucement is? Subtle, light. Light.
Thank you.
Subtle.
I appreciate that. I'll take it as a compliment.
Doucement.
Right. I forgot what I was going to say now.
I don't know French.
So you guys didn't watch the awards, but you guys know who won.
For the sake of experience, I don't. Please tell me, who won?
Oh, well, I mean, there's a lot of awards. I don't want to go through all the awards, but...
I have them here.
Fuck you, Todd. We're going through all of them.
We can just go through them real quick.
Yeah, we'll do the lightning round.
Let's see.
The winner for...
Actually, I switched the page over to
most influential person on Twitch,
so,
Assad Quizzlebatch.
So let's start with the big award of the year.
Game of the year.
Game of the year.
The nominees for Game of the Year were Doom.
Yeah.
Inside.
Titanfall 2.
Uncharted 4. And the winner, which was Overwatch.
Yeah.
Yay.
So... I don't think we even mentioned... Well, we mentioned Overwatch and like as a Game of the Year the last time that we were talking about it. But
yes.
I don't think any of us thought it would go to Overwatch.
Yeah.
I feel like some of the awards, even so, some of the awards were, and I don't mean to...
Rigged.
I don't want to discount the performances.
You're saying there's a conspiracy?
No, but I think some of them were absolute cop-outs. I know that's some of them absolutely were, in my opinion.
I mean, well, just, they would totally, I could totally sympathize because best fighting game of the year went to Street Fighter. Which, no.
And this is the thing, I know you guys love the game, and I know it's improved since, but I think that its initial state...
It's not a game of the year.
It didn't deserve to be in that... Well, it deserves to be in the category, right? Probably. But it didn't deserve to win the category. And I said this last time, 2 games were not in that list that maybe should have been.
Yeah. And it should be something when both Capello and myself, avid fans of fighting games, say, that's not a game of the year. In no way, shape, or form.
Like,
that's a game for competitions.
Like, among us, like, I'm the one who probably likes Street Fighter the most. And I love Street Fighter. And I love Street Fighter 5. It does not deserve Game of the Year.
Yeah.
No, fighting Game of the Year.
I think that one is probably the cop-out. Because it seemed like when it happened, I thought, because of course it did. You know, I don't even remember what the other options were. Was it?
Yeah, it was Killer Instinct Season 3,
right?
Which, yes, it's good.
King of Fighters 14.
Mortal Kombat XL?
No, because that Mortal Kombat XL stopped last year.
Right. Well, it was in the list of 5 games though.
Yeah.
There were some categories that didn't even have 5 games.
Which is like 4, 3.
Something like that.
That's bullshit if they only put up 3 and they didn't even bother to fucking put up
Guilty Gear, BlazBlue. Yeah.
Didn't it win something last time? Guilty Gear?
I think Guilty Gear might have won something last year.
No, that was Mortal Kombat.
Possibly.
I think Guilty Gear was nominated, but Mortal Kombat won.
There you go.
Because also, well, I know Mortal Kombat's a good choice, but it's a super safe choice. I think that's a better way to say it. It's a safe choice. But real quick, the Overwatch for Game of the Year, I thought the most safe choice would have been Uncharted 4. That was like, they're probably going to give it to that. But I think that Overwatch for Game of the Year makes sense in that list. But this is the thing about the Game Awards is that I wish, the one thing that they failed to do is that they didn't say why the game won. Because, you know, if you look at the Oscars or other award shows, they're very clear. It's like, this is the category. This is what we're looking for the categories. And this is like, No, we're just hey, this it's a fighting game. It won the award.
Best fighting game for fighting game.
If I recall correctly, for the video game awards, it's they're judge based.
It is judge based,
and then there's also fan based.
So the fan based ones are like trending gamer, best esports team, stuff that's inconsequential, really. Yeah. And even I think it was also most anticipated game, which went to Zelda this year. That's all fan based, but the main awards are based on their judging panel from all kinds of different media outlets. IGN, GameSpot, Giant Bomb, stuff like that. Even Rooster Teeth this year, which I thought was kind of funny. But yeah, like they get big personalities to be part of the judging panel, and then they create the nominees based on the panel, and then from there they get to vote again. But I think Overwatch it's well deserved.
Yeah, I mean it's a great game.
Yeah, and it's also I think it shows real progress in gaming overall. Like I don't know why the award was given to the game, right? Like really, why was it given to the game? But I think that I would like to hope that the fact that it has a very diverse cast, very colorful, it's a very different kind of shooter than basically everything else that's out this year. So I agree with that one. I was very happy with that award. I think some people were definitely like, huh. Some people were like, Uncharted was supposed to get it. It's like, well, not necessarily.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I feel like it got Game of the Year because of the sheer impact value that it has.
Absolutely, yeah.
And, I mean, that's a decent merit to judge something as Game of the Year. It was a gigantic impact.
It's a cultural
that it had,
impact. So that's probably that probably explains why Niantic won for best mobile game then. Because I don't know.
I like the other ones, but like Pokemon Go, for as short as it lasted, it did have a huge impact. Yeah. It got people out of their houses and into the streets, which
basically,
that's
I mean, you'd see video from parks.
It got us banned from the church.
It got us banned from the church.
It got us banned.
But we did it. We did it one day. Well, we all together. We did it one day.
And then we got banned from the church.
Well, not us particular, just everyone in general.
Everyone.
We didn't do anything.
We're not out making like yo. What the fuck are you doing here? This is my turf. No, that's not what happened, ladies and gentlemen.
The hardest fuck priests.
The hardest fuck priests were gonna kick us out because that was their territory.
Yeah.
So Game of the Year goes to Overwatch.
Yes, it does.
We'll basically for the people who like the TLDR, we'll go through the list. Some of them we'll basically just glance over. Maybe some of them we'll talk about. So,
sure.
Game of the Year, Overwatch. Best game direction, Blizzard for Overwatch.
Deserved.
Yeah.
Best Overwatch?
Best Overwatch. Best narrative, Overwatch.
Most Overwatch?
All right, so best narrative went to Uncharted 4.
So look, I just like you said with Street Fighter, you guys know I love Uncharted, but I think that was a really safe choice. I think that a lot of the narrative is great in that game, but it wasn't as potent as previous Uncharted games or even The Last of Us, which is, I mean, that's kind of a bar that you can't reach. I was hoping that Mafia 3, because this is one of the only categories Mafia 3 was nominated for, aside from Best Performance, which we'll talk about soon. I was really hoping that they would pick that one.
Most racist?
Most racist. It's a very racist game. But because, I think about that one in terms of, like, this is a very immediate kind of... It's very relevant today, specifically with racism and all kinds of other topics that a lot of political topics, social topics that it discusses. And I thought, I would love, because of its documentary style, that it would have won. It didn't win anything that night, unfortunately. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Yep. And there were some interesting ones for best narrative, but I had the feeling in my gut that it was going to go to Uncharted 4.
Yeah, it seemed, and again, not to discount Neil Druckmann.
It seemed like a safe choice.
Yeah, it's a safe choice, and not to discount their work, because I think their work is fantastic, but it's kind of hoping that a newcomer would kind of take that prize.
Yeah. As I said last time, if I had my way, I'd go to Oxenfree.
That's right. It was also for best narrative,
right? Yeah. So after best narrative, we have best art direction, which went to Inside.
Yeah,
that's agreeable.
I agree with that.
I agree.
I think that's the only award that it won in the entire show, so I think that's okay.
Yeah.
I agree that it is agreeable to agree upon this decision.
The other ones in this category were Abzu, Firewatch, Overwatch, and Uncharted 4.
So I think that for art direction, that's a hard one, because I think all those probably deserve, obviously got the nod, right? But
they're very interesting.
I mean, Overwatch specifically for its color, I think, and Uncharted for its immense detail. But Playdead for Inside, interesting choice.
Yep.
Very cool game, though.
All right. Then we have best music and sound design, which went to Doom.
Very happy with this award.
Quick question: what were the candidates again? I feel like I asked that last time also.
For best music and sound design, it was Battlefield 1, Inside, Res Infinite, and Thumper.
So I think that those two categories should be different. One for sound design, one for
Best music?
score. Yeah, because there was some incredible scores this year that I think none of them got. You know, a lot of them didn't get the nod. I was honestly thinking that Battlefield would win, because Battlefield 1's sound design was incredible. But I don't think it had the pump that Doom did. Because that sound design is excellent, and not to mention that incredible soundtrack, which just gets your blood just pumping like crazy.
The chunkiness of zombies exploding.
Also, real quick, now that we're on this subject, out of the 3 musical performances, which 2 was, I think one was Run the Jewels, and another one I can't pronounce the guy's name, but the first one was Mick Gordon, who is the composer for the Doom soundtrack. Yeah. I'm
sad I didn't watch it now.
He did 3 songs from the Doom soundtrack, and that was an incredible performance. Super energetic, and it's like, okay, this is the kind of stuff that you should have at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
You know? And honestly, I thought it was the highlight of the night. Like, it was just incredible. Yeah.
So next we have
the jewels.
Best Performance, which went to Nolan North as Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah. I was hoping this one would also go to, I think it was Alex that had on this, who played
as Lincoln Clay.
Because that was a great performance. But the award aside, he had some interesting comments. He had a little speech about performance matters. And I thought that I knew where it was going, but I was completely wrong about where he was going with that. Because you know how there's that voice actor strike, remember we talked about a couple weeks ago. So I think he was either trying to reach across the table, right, to kind of bring people together, or he was kind of shooting shots across the bow for the actors that are picketing, because he said performance matters. You know, the performance of the artists, of the programmers, of the people who make the game. And he said that his performance wouldn't exist and didn't matter if what they didn't exist. You know, which I think is he makes an interesting point. But I think he's also, in a weird way, belittling those who are not as fortunate as him to be in the position as more popular.
He's one of the most paid voice actors. Most demanded, most paid voice actors in the industry. Yeah. So,
it's very ironic that, like, the guy on top is saying, "Why are you guys like this?" type of thing. I guess that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, at the very least, feels that way.
I think that
it could be that, like, he just needs the bitter truth of, like, this is what you're experiencing isn't what anyone else is experiencing.
But the thing
no one else has it like you do.
Like, actor strikes and writer strikes happen all the time in Hollywood. Well, not all the time, but they are things that have happened in the past. And I think this is the first time this ever happened for VO in gaming. But the thing is, I think that maybe what I hope what his intention was to bridge the gap. Like, hey, let's get,
and not taking pop shots at rad roaches.
Let's get both parties to sit down and talk about this, because he does make a good point. Because if you think about it, I think some of the desires of the strike were like, hey, we want to get a certain percentage after a certain amount of copies are sold, and it's like, well, you know what? In a lot of cases, not even the people who work on the game get those kind of bonuses.
True,
and that those two work experiences are both taxing. If you're a programmer, you're spending hours. You're doing overtime. You probably don't see your family. And acting, maybe it's not necessarily like that, but you're draining yourself of your emotion. So, yeah, I thought it was an interesting comment that he made about that. So, Yeah, but Nolan North won yet another award.
Not surprised.
No surprise there.
And if it wasn't him, it was going to be Troy Baker.
Yeah.
They're the safe answers. You mean?
Yeah. I mean, half of the, like, almost the entire all the nominees were Uncharted except for Alex Hernandez, right? For Lincoln Clay.
Yeah.
Basically.
Who's Lincoln Clay?
Also,
Mafia 3.
There you go.
Sissy Jones as Delilah from Firewatch.
Yeah.
And Rich Summer as Henry from Firewatch.
Yeah, they were up to.
Yes. Alright, so the next one was Games for Impact, that went to That Dragon Cancer, which well deserved.
Well deserved.
And
I think that's. I told you guys earlier when we were eating. I think that that was the only real awkward moment in the entire show because. And I'm not going to like blame the presenters, but they were really enthusiastic when they opened the envelope and said That Dragon Cancer, and it's like, do you know what the game's about? Like, maybe tone it down a little bit.
The thing is, it's supposed to be the Game Award. You're supposed to be enthusiastic on the winners.
Absolutely, but I think there's
it's very odd that the Game for Impact is supposed to be a very solid, very non-enthusiastic, very serious thing. But you can't present that in a serious manner because it'll make it seem like the person presenting didn't want this person to win.
I think I disagree with that. I think you can say, and the Game Award goes to That Dragon Cancer. Simple. I think that's the way I would have approached it if I were on stage, but I wasn't on stage, so I wouldn't know, right? But I'm not blaming. I think it was Matt, Pat, and someone else who were showing that, giving that award away. But the speech of the dev, who I don't remember his name, unfortunately, was very heartfelt, very real. You know, compared to most of the other like award-winning speeches at the show. But yeah, very cool stuff.
Well. Next, we have Best Independent Game, which went to Inside. Sure. Okay. Yeah. I'm a little surprised that it didn't go to Stardew Valley, considering just like how big Stardew Valley was. But Inside was also,
Hyper Light Drifter was also on that list.
Yes, Hyper Light Drifter was also, which is another great,
If any of those three had won, I would have still been okay
with it. Yeah.
Next, we have Best Mobile/Handheld Game, which went to Pokemon Go.
Cultural phenomenon. I think that's what they based it on.
Yeah, there's one game in particular here that Benny and I are biased by. I don't believe it should have gotten Best Handheld because I wasn't super wowed by it. However, Fire Emblem Fates was a really solid title.
I feel like we should segregate this, and it should have been best cell phone handheld and best system based,
best mobile, best handheld.
Yeah,
the thing is that best mobile handheld, like
best app. If you even want to move it to that point,
I'll tell you, like best console handheld, like they would only be Nintendo games there.
Basically,
just nothing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Sony,
none of the
Sony,
Vita ports would make it.
The
to
Vita
that
has fallen, but
the
Nintendo exclusive Nintendo Award for best Nintendo handheld game.
And you see, that's the problem I had. I think, like I said about music and sound design, those should have been separate, and this one should have been another case. But you're right, that whole category would have been dominated by Nintendo games. But that we've already seen that with like the performance that was dominated by Uncharted, right? So I think the show has a lot of problems, right, with its categories in particular, and maybe even how it votes. But also, since we're on this one, the one thing that I was hoping they would change from last year and even the previous year was that they would stop giving awards not on stage. That award was not even given on stage.
Really?
It was given like in this back area, like this back little private area where Jeff Keighley was there, and he basically gave the award to it. He didn't even most of the big awards had
that was a quote unquote hush hush behind.
There were so many of them though, and the thing is, for that's
bullshit.
After that one, he's like, oh, and we also have the winner for this other one, and he would say the name, but he didn't have a trophy there. No one came to grab this said trophy. They were just like, oh, we have the winner for this, but we're not going to present it even here or on the front stage. So I think that's where as an award show overall, compared to like the Oscars or whatever,
get your shit together.
Get your shit together. Like, if you want to be taken more seriously, put all of the people who win the award on stage where they belong. And if it means scaling back on world premieres, do it. Because it's not about the audience. For them, it's about, I can't wait to see that Mass Effect Andromeda gameplay, which, granted, I wanted to watch it too. But if it means taking away from the people who are there for the awards, then don't scale back, I think.
Yeah. I imagine it had to do with, like, time crunch problems.
I think it has a lot to do with advertising too, because this is the thing. You know, I think Jeff Keighley originally was like, he was done with Spike TV, and he's like, I don't want to do this after that Joel McHale whole shebang a couple years ago. Do you remember that? It was disastrous.
I don't quite remember.
It was like, it was the VGX. It was the Video Game Awards online. And it was like, there was no audience. It was kind of like a pre-recorded live stream show. It was disastrous. So after that, he went independent. So, what that I know of, that at least in the first year, a lot of production money came out of his pocket, right? So he was really passionate about this. He was trying to get away from the idea of advertising, but the Game Awards this year was full of advertisements.
You gotta make money somehow,
You're
so
right.
you can ensure that the next year there is another award.
But what's the level of compromise? That's the thing. So,
I mean,
unfortunately, that's not for us to decide. It's for the person behind.
It's not
the show.
Yeah. So, it is what it is.
Yep. So next we have Best VR Game, which went to Res Infinite.
I'm really glad it went to Res Infinite, because I did not want the Batman game to win, because I think that Rocksteady would have been also a cop out.
Yeah,
too little.
I think Res Infinite.
I think Job Simulator.
Yeah,
but
okay.
maybe
I think either one I would have been totally okay with.
Next we have Best Action Game, which went to Doom.
Overwatch.
Over Doom. It was in the nomination. But yeah, Best Action Game goes to Doom. Not a lot to say there. It's really great.
It's a whole lot of action in that thing.
Best Action Adventure went to Dishonored 2.
Because of how recent the game came out,
I feel like it shouldn't be in there.
I think it should be in there, but I'm just surprised that they gave it to that game.
I mean, like, they didn't have Pokemon Sun and Moon in Best Handheld, and that came out before Dishonored.
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, it did.
No, it came out. I don't remember. I have to look at the dates. I don't know. It's a good question.
But they came out. I'm saying they came out. Even if they came out like so close, the same time.
Right.
Let's even say the same week they came out.
And the reason why, but the thing is, the reason why I say I'm surprised is because of how recent it came out. The game is fantastic, but I just surprised that a game that so recently came out was. So they on the list.
Barely have any. I bet it had to have some impact for it to have come out so soon, like not even be able to digest it, and it's already gotten a Best Action Adventure Game award. Let me see. The Best RPG went to The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt, Blood and Wine.
So
not the game, the expansion.
So I definitely don't agree with this. Because there are 4 games here that are definitely not DLC.
Yeah, that are full games.
That didn't come out, like Blood and Wine came out this year.
Yeah, but that's an expansion.
It's just an expansion.
That's what I'm saying, Capello. They need to have categories for expansions or DLC. If you're gonna pick a game that's really DLC for the winner of a category that's 4 games.
Like Wild Hunt already won Game of the Year 2 years ago, or a year ago.
It's won countless awards.
Do you
really need to beat that horse once again?
Do you really need to? Like, I know CG Projekt is a great
developer,
right?
but
they deserve all of their awards. But you can stop giving them awards now.
There's other devs that deserve the awards too. Yeah, yeah, I'm not in agreement with that. I haven't played the DLC, but I know it's fantastic. I know that, but
I'm sure it's great.
I'm pretty sure it's great. Different category.
There are other RPGs out there other than The Witcher.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keeley.
Yeah.
Key lime.
Next, we have Best Fighting Game, which went to Street Fighter V.
No, it didn't. I'm gonna fix this for them. What were the other candidates?
Killer Instinct Season 3, which should
Killer Instinct is the new winner.
Okay, but this is the thing. That's also technically a season. It's not a game.
That is true.
I'll agree with you on that, but I also agree that
over Street Fighter, which it was a game that didn't even work at launch. I agree with you there.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, it's technically not.
I'm not fighting you on it. Like, I also agree with you. Like,
So the other ones were King of Fighters 14, which is a great fighting game. If we're really going to argue about over Killer Instinct, then that should have taken it.
Sure.
And the last one was Pokken Tournament, which had its own impact.
When
Definitely deserved a
did
nomination.
that come out this year? I feel like that came out last year.
That came out in summer.
Yeah, that was this year.
Also, that game is definitely fun.
It's fun. It's like it deserves like a spot here. And its netcode is godlike.
Excellent. Yeah. According to what you guys have told me. Obviously, I think we're all in complete agreement that, despite what you said last week, where it was like, oh, but Guilty Gear and BlazBlue are very niche, they deserve a spot on this list.
Yeah, so again, but then we go into the argument like those are both expansions also.
Are they?
Yes.
Really?
Central Fiction is like the fifth iteration of BlazBlue, or sixth.
Well, the thing is, in this one specifically, the new BlazBlue is they add a couple of new characters and the patch fixes,
which is exactly what Killer Instinct
it may as well be a.
So this is like Street Fighter Ultimate, Street Fighter 4 Ultimate, or whatever.
Yes.
Arcade.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Same thing with Guilty Gear.
But it's considered a different game because they added story. It's a new storyline thing.
And if we're gonna say that, then Killer Instinct also did that. They added a story this year, so
like the season 3, like season 3 of Killer Instinct may also have been Killer Instinct 3.
Okay, when you say it that way, then absolutely.
It's unfortunate, but this is how fighter games go.
Yeah.
They don't rely on story, although they're starting to jump into story.
Right.
Usually the new iterations being like the new Street Fighter 2, the new Street Fighter 3. It was just they had a couple of new characters and say, hey, it's a new game.
Okay, well, that's but I think we all agree that Street Fighter probably should
not have one.
Have gotten it.
That might have been Capcom throwing a lot of money at Jeff Keighley.
And then saying, hey, the Capcom Cup is, not Capcom Cup. What is it? The Capcom Cup is happening right now.
Alright, so next
come on over and give it a look.
Next we have Best Strategy Game, which goes to Civ 6.
To Overwatch.
Yeah. I can see, like,
I don't think that's necessarily a cop-out because, Civ
6 is just an excellent game.
Safe.
I kind of wished it would have gone XCOM 2, because XCOM 2 is pretty fucking good.
Look, all I'll say is Civ 6 or Civ 5? Civ 6?
6.
Safe.
It's a safe choice.
Safe.
I think, to be honest, I probably think XCOM 2 would have been a safe choice, too. It's also from the same company, you know. But I would have liked for them to be recognized for that work as well.
But then you would have had Warmonger, who was it? The Warmonger from Civ?
Well, there's a bunch of them. I'm pretty sure you can do Genghis Khan.
Gandhi.
Yeah, Warmonger Gandhi would have just destroyed you.
With a nuke.
Warmonger Gandhi with a nuke.
That's a great PSN name.
Warmonger Gandhi.
You know what? I agree. I do not deny that.
Ben, before this goes up, you need to make that PS4 account.
I'll make a Smurf account. Warmonger Gandhi.
Great.
Alright. Well, Best Family Game goes to Pokemon Go.
Also, they won 2 awards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see why. I just
family outings.
It's so bitter. It's because Pokemon Go is so dead right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But hey, guys, the Generation 2 is coming soon. Please wait. We'll get that out.
So here's the good old Keighley splicing, where they put sports and racing into their own category.
So this is something they should also separate, but I think that, for example, racing games probably weren't enough to fill in that category anyways, right?
Yeah, right?
Like, there was just, what was it, Forza? Well, Forza won this award, but Forza, Dirt Rally, and that's it, because there's no Need for Speed this year, and there was no Gran Turismo this year.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a lot. But if that's the case, then I still think they deserve their own category.
Personally, they should have said, and the racing award goes to no contest, not enough contestants were on the podium. I'm sorry, let's move to the next one.
Right.
Keep it moving.
I mean, I guess racing is a sport, right?
It is a sport, but I think a lot of people, even in the mainstream gaming, still believe, well, when it comes to sports, it's
people
Madden,
running
it's
around
FIFA,
in a
it's
field.
NBA, it's NHL. And then a lot of people do consider racing, while a sport, its own thing, which it is, but...
Has Mario Tennis ever won this award?
I don't think any Mario sports games...
Mario anything will never win an award.
That's sad, because those are usually the best ones.
Yeah, well, think about... Actually, last year, Rocket League
It's
won
so
Best
funny
Sports
that
Game.
we're saying this,
That's
but...
true.
Yeah. So, dreams can come true.
All right, well, yeah, Best Sports Race / Racer went to Forza Horizon 3.
Yep.
Best multiplayer goes to Overwatch. Duh.
I don't have a quarrel with this, but I think considering that Titanfall was up for a lot of awards, and I thought I think the multiplayer is pretty great, should have won one of these awards. But Overwatch is absolutely deserved.
I would have liked Overcooked to take this one.
That's
or
right,
Titanfall, no, because I like Titanfall for the story, not for
Yeah, that's true.
the multiplayer.
It's excellent. So,
Most anticipated game goes to The Legends of the Breath of the Wild. Duh.
I mean, that's a duh. Also, from now, the rest of the categories are just those are fan categories.
Yeah, fan card. The next one we should mention because it's pretty great. But yeah, most anticipated game, Legend of Zelda is sort of a given. The other ones are pretty noteworthy though. A God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Mass Effect Andromeda, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, it was up against Monsters, but this is just most anticipated game. Yeah.
It's also a fan choice.
Yeah.
Also not everyone that's a fan of whatever these games is actually going to vote for this award anyways,
Yeah.
I wonder what the statistics were, what the numbers were for those awards. For the people who voted.
Alright, so the last one we'll talk about, I guess we'll mention Best Fan Creation, which didn't win an award, but were mentioned, which are Brutal Doom 64, which is under some controversy right now.
Yeah, so I think parent company
Bethesda.
Take that notice?
Yeah, Bethesda.
Yeah.
And Enderal, the Shards of Order.
Which is the Oblivion.
Yeah.
It's Oblivion.
That's Skyrim.
It's Skyrim DLC?
Yeah. It's a full mod that it's basically its own game.
That's super cool.
Fancy.
That's been in the works for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we'll go. The last thing we'll mention, because I don't think we really need to go over best esports player
it was
team.
Cloud9 won. So
Cloud9 won best team, which duh.
That's another safe bet.
Esports player was Marcelo David from CS:GO.
Right. Don't know who that is, but okay.
No, me neither. I know two people from this team.
Right.
From this list, which is Byun, Hanwoo, who does StarCraft 2, and he's a fantastic Terran player, and Infiltrator, who is Team Razor and was knocked out of Capcom Cup in the first round of losers.
Which means
so dirty.
He's out. He's no longer in the tournament.
Yeah,
out.
He's a really great player.
Go on, get.
So yes, Trending Gamer won by
like that?
Boogie2988.
Yeah, Boogie.
Which awesome. Just that's absolutely awesome.
That's pretty great. And also the award was presented by Peter Moore, and Peter Moore is a very likable guy. This is the only section that I actually voted in, so I didn't vote for him. I voted for Daniel Dwyer,
You monster.
who was also on the list.
You must.
But I think that this award's kind of whatever. But I think it
So
probably
your decision was wrong.
No, it wasn't wrong. This is the thing. People nominated these people for different reasons.
Yeah.
I think people nominate Boogie because he's an overall very positive person, which is not something you see very much in the gaming community on YouTube.
The non-toxic one?
Basically. Well, I'm pretty sure there's still a lot of... I never look at his comments, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of toxicity in his comments regardless.
I mean, there's toxicity
It's
in anybody's
everywhere,
comments.
but he has such a positive
Except
message.
for ours.
Except for ours. he has such a positive message that it makes perfect sense, and plus he has a massive audience now, right? And the only reason I picked Daniel Dwyer is because I like the work that he does. So I think I've mentioned this to you guys before, but he left, he worked for GameSpot, but he left to make his own thing, which is called NoClip. And they basically make...
Behind the Rocket.
Yeah, so they basically make... Did you watch that?
No, but you did tell me about it.
Very well done. It's gaming documentaries. Mm-hmm. They go behind the scenes. And he cited... I remember when I looked at the Patreon video, he cited Anthony Bourdain as his inspiration for that. And the work is excellent. That's the reason why I voted for him, because I thought the work was great. But I think Boogie deserves it, because he's a very positive influence in an industry that's very toxic.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, he won over some pretty big monsters, including Angry Joe, Jacksepticeye, and Lyric.
Fuck Angry Joe.
So Lyric, he has a huge, massive audience. But, I mean, I'm not trying to discount him, but he is like, you know, I don't think he's necessarily like a force of positivity. No, he's just there for himself, really.
The reason why he didn't win is because all his fans hate him.
That's true. That's true. He's unfortunately a very unlikable person. I don't know who the fuck's gonna vote for Angry Joe? Seriously. Don't fucking not me.
I feel like Angry Joe is nominated like every fucking year, and then somebody wins over him.
He's been nominated
every year.
Times.
Yeah.
Is he DiCaprio?
He's
always gonna get like...
Yeah, but DiCaprio does good work.
Yeah. Sick burn.
Okay.
Burn ward.
Burn on Joe.
We're not famous, so it's fine. But
watch him call us out.
Right. I saw
Who are these fucks?
Last year, this year at this spring at PAX, he was there, and I saw him walking down the street.
And you stare at him and go, "Fuck, Angry Joe."
Dude, no shit. I swear to God, his entire wardrobe is what you see him in his videos.
It's leather jackets.
Yes, a leather jacket.
Leather jacket and jeans.
Like a red and white stripe on that jacket too. But I think that was the first time I had seen a video of the other guy. Who's the other guy? Septic?
Jacksepticeye.
Yeah, so he's an Irish.
Danny actually watches him a whole hell of a lot.
He's blowing up because he does the Poods content, you know.
Yeah. PewDiePie content. He actually teams up with PewDiePie on a few things.
Yeah, like that. It's him, PewDiePie, and Markiplier that are currently the children magnets, as I like to call them.
Right. And oddly enough, they're all like...
They all like they
all have the extremely colored
content,
hair. They're all crazy when they play. They react.
They're loud. You know, they're the child magnets. Yes, basically.
I remember
Cinnamon Toast Ken.
Also, yeah.
I remember the first year I went to PAX Prime. It was Saturday, and we were in the outside courtyard, and that's where like a lot of YouTubers would say, "Hey, we're gonna meet here," because it's a big open area.
I would have liked it if Cry would have been at least nominated. Cry's cool. He's pretty good.
He's not trending, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I remember at some point there was like this group of guys, and they went right past us. We had no idea who they were. It was myself and my friend Kristen. And all of a sudden you see a rush of 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds just rush past us and like, please, blah, 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 sign this, sign that. You see moms, because moms are with these kids. Who the fuck are these people? And they were like, but huge Minecraft players. I still don't know who they were. Not that it's relevant, but there's an audience for all that stuff.
You passed over the Yogscast. You didn't even know it.
The what?
You passed over the Yogscast.
It wasn't them. They weren't British.
So yeah, that basically concludes the Video Game Awards.
So I think that this year was the one with the least logistical problems, because every year there's always something. Like
something that goes wrong.
Like last year, like best performance was given. It was like something from The Witcher, but it was actually the woman who was from her story, and they had that big mix up and like, what the fuck's going on? Like stuff like that. Mishaps. This year there weren't any mishaps, but I think this was the weakest year, and in terms of just the whole show,
the non-dankest.
It was kind of weak. And this is the thing. The only thing that I have to say is that present all the awards on stage.
Please.
I feel like you're belittling the people who, not just the people who got the award backstage or whatever, but also the award winners who Jeff Keighley just mentioned. They didn't even show up anywhere. They weren't even on camera. So if that's a time problem, like I said earlier, Take some ads out. Take some, scale down the world premieres. You don't have to have 10 of them. But I understand though that that's how you get more people to watch, because that was the hook though, dude. He was like at the beginning, he's like, "Hey, we're gonna have Mass Effect Andromeda gameplay," and that was literally the last thing they showed.
Because you stay tuned.
That's how you get people to stay for the show.
You don't touch that control.
You don't.
You don't. You're gonna stay tuned. You're gonna fucking watch it.
So I thought the show was weak, but overall,
safe choices were made.
A lot of safe choices were made. I think that despite its problems, I think something like this should exist. Because I think that the people who work in the industry are, a lot of them do deserve praise for what they do.
We should make our own video game awards.
We are going to.
Extremely fucking biased awards.
Game of the Year.
Overwatch.
Best shooter, best online multiplayer, best narrative. Not best narrative. But, that's the Game Awards.
That's Overwatch.
Yeah.
Best sports game.
Overwatch
Lucio Ball expansion.
Oh my goodness. But yeah. So that's the Game Awards, guys.
Yep.
That was the thing that happened 2 days ago, as of this recording.
There are some agreeable things and other not so
agreeable. Right. There's a lot of shit that happened this week.
Yeah.
And this basically during the weekend. So as of recording, which is this Saturday, the PlayStation Experience kicked off earlier today, with its keynote that has happened. This is going to be the third year. So first year was in Vegas, and the past years have been in Anaheim, California. Basically the same convention center, I believe.
You want to look for it? I forgot how.
I believe that they had the E3 ad as well.
Yes. Both at Anaheim this year.
Yeah, basically.
Which I believe they were in Vegas last year.
No, the first year.
First year
this is the third year that they've done it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to edit this because it's PlayStation Experience.
Oh, that's why. That's why it didn't work.
But
that's why it didn't work.
Because you put Sony Experience?
I put Sony Experience. It was showing me a bunch of phones that are dead.
Yeah, you're getting Xperias.
Yeah.
The Xperia was interesting, but...
What the fuck is this, Todd?
I don't know. It's the one that's like an hour long. So that's the...
Shouldn't it be this one that's 5 hours long?
No, well, it's not. That's probably just like a standby kind of stream. Oh, that's with all of this stuff in between, I think. The pre and post shows. So yeah, the PlayStation Experience opened today with a keynote, and boy, what a fucking keynote.
Boy, are your arms tired.
They were tired. There was a lot happening.
There was some lady from India walking around.
What the fuck is this?
This is the start.
This is what you missed, Todd.
This is literally what you missed.
Because Todd was late to our Sony Experience party.
Oh, this is Uncharted.
Uncharted.
Holy shit.
That's the first 8 minutes. Because they showed 8 minutes of gameplay.
Yep.
It's a lady sneaking around.
That's
There's actually a couple of minutes into it already.
I honestly did not know what this was.
Yeah.
Because it didn't look Uncharted-ish.
It didn't look anything-ish.
That's Chloe. I think it's Chloe.
It's Lucky Chloe.
So the first that was the first thing they announced, right?
Yeah.
Uncharted.
Yeah.
And it's called
Breath into Infinity.
No, Legacy.
It's Lost Legacy.
Yeah,
Uncharted: The Lost Legacy.
It stars Nadine,
Yes.
who is one of the, I won't say antagonists, but one of the opposite parties in Uncharted 4, and Chloe, who is one of Nate's companions from Uncharted 2, and she briefly comes out in Uncharted 3. This is interesting. I honestly didn't think that was going to happen. I thought that whenever they announced the Uncharted 4 story DLC, that it would be a story about Sully and Sam, because that seemed like the most obvious. But this is, this is interesting. Very interesting. But that wasn't so that's how it opened.
Yep.
And then what came after that? I believe it was Marvel vs. Capcom, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the
Infinity.
one. So
Infinite.
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which is a fighting game that no one in the industry believed would happen for years
because of the recent Because of what is it really because of Disney acquiring Marvel and like
it's for a lot of reasons, right?
That would be one of them,
it's not the most like while Marvel is pretty prominent and they're going to be prominent for like a very long time to come
until we die.
Probably. It's not the most prominent time to release a Marvel game,
right?
On top of that, the Marvel division of video games was shut down completely.
Is that right?
Because of a lot of like Sony Interactive and Fox clashes. Like there's a lot of copyright stuff with like Deadpool and the X-Men
right.
and Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot.
On top of that, Capcom was said to not like be very up in its fighting game division also. Like they're very much working on Street Fighter V and that basically like tanked in sales. Like it didn't even break 100,000 or something like that.
Womp womp.
So yeah, I mean there's a lot of problems that for some reason that made it seem that a Marvel vs. Capcom game was impossible. Like it wasn't going to happen anytime soon. And then, boom, just like that, you see Mega Man X and with Ryu next to him, and then fighting against Iron Man and Miss Marvel, which like I know like from watching Max and how excited he gets for it, and like how he basically reacted to the news.
Boy, was he!
There are a lot of people in the industry whose minds were blown, just blown wide open that this was actually a thing.
Because of considering how much legal red tape was around it. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And so, not only that, but they brought a port of Marvel vs. Capcom 3
over to
PS4 out today.
Yeah.
That's
not PS Now. It's something downloadable on the PS4 store right now.
Mm-hmm. Which is crazy. And if they did do like some balanced stuff and they tweaked it a little bit and they optimized it for PS4, then that's going to make a lot of people happy. And it's going to tide a lot of people over until Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite comes out.
There was no date for that, correct?
Just 2017. That's how they put it.
So maybe late next year then,
Possibly.
Yeah, because it's still the same team that's making Street Fighter, I would imagine.
No, I think it's probably a different team.
Okay, so maybe a little earlier than that.
It may. It depends on how long it's been in the works.
Right. Does it look like it's been in the works for a while?
They have no gameplay yet. So
so it's just cutscene?
It was just the one big cutscene, which we should see in a little bit.
Right.
Also, we're going to go with the speed of this thing. This is going to be a 1 hour section.
I mean, I think we're just going to, honestly, we're going to graze over a lot of stuff.
I have all the stuff that came out here.
I think we're just going to graze over a lot of some of the stuff, because some of the stuff is a lot smaller. Not to say that it's not worth talking about, but, we're going to have a lot of information, like, for each thing.
Wow, it's raining.
Is it raining?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so unfortunately, this little thing that I have isn't in any particular order.
That's fine. It doesn't really matter the order. You got the beginning.
I think let's see. We'll talk about the next thing that they showed almost right after was the Street Fighter V DLC, which featured Akuma.
That's where I came into the room.
Yeah. Yes.
Sporting a interesting lion's mane.
The hair does look a little bit goofy. I actually Max put up his reaction video and I want to watch it. But yeah, he looks, his hair looks a little bit goofy. But,
right. Did you see him? Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. I was here for that.
But he animates so cool.
The punching animations look super cool.
Yeah, and he has a raging demon. And which he has air combos.
They did good by that raging demon, man. That was amazing.
So it's going to be... hopefully Akuma turns out to be really fun. And if they change him up, like, significantly... and
you want him to have, like, at least 3 anti-airs?
Well, no. Like, that's a problem that I think they probably won't fix, to be honest. Ever. Because it makes some balance stuff, like, really. Like, some people really need an anti-air jab. But yeah, they, hopefully it means that Street Fighter V is going to be more fun going forward. And which is, you need that, because there's not a lot of people playing Street Fighter V, I should say. So after that, let's see what else. I guess let's just go down this list. We'll leave the best for last, though. So
the shocking, the shocker,
the shocker,
the shocking,
yes,
the shockening.
You
mean Windjammers?
The Windjammers, which is getting a PS4 port
with online support.
We need the shitty.
That was the biggest thing to come out of the PlayStation experience.
It was
the biggest thing.
Not quite, but okay.
So along those lines, Parappa, Wipeout, Crash Bandicoot, and Patapon are all getting
remasters of sorts.
A remaster of sorts.
Re-releases.
It should be noted that Crash Bandicoot on its own has a major redoing. I guess you could say
it's all three actually.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. It's all three.
It's all three.
It's a remastering of all three. That's coming to PS4 for Crash Bandicoot. That was a pretty decently sized announcement.
Yeah,
they had made a brief announcement about that during E3, but it didn't show anything.
And
so was that being developed by?
I think that's Naughty Dog that's doing it. I think.
Is it Naughty Dog that's doing it?
I think they're doing it.
It was originally by Naughty Dog.
Yeah, but like Activision owns the rights for it.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. We can see later.
Yeah.
It should be also noted that the other three games you said, Loco Roco, Patapon, and Parappa the Rapper, are getting the HD re-release.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I think for Parappa, there's a demo out tonight.
Yes.
And for the other games, you can basically just get those.
And from the video that we saw, clean
Parappa?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much you can do if you're going to keep that style of graphic. There's only so much you can improve, but it did look sharp.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of a blast from the past, with an exception to Patapon, because I don't think Patapon is really that old. But most of those games on there have not seen the light in a long time.
It's old enough to say that people have forgotten about.
Well, it was on the PSP.
PSP.
Yeah,
and boy, did I love Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3.
I really like Part 1. It's the only one I played.
Amazing.
So, good stuff.
You should play Part 2.
Well, maybe.
Part 2 is real good. Actually, I have a PSP. I have Part 2. I can lend it to you.
Oh, sure. I mean, I can probably
get some headphones.
Probably just play the first one all over again on a PS4 giant screen.
Get some headphones.
Okay. Then.
So, no, I mean even for Part 1, that game always had beautiful.
The audio
music,
had some good stuff.
I'm sorry for cutting you off.
He's looking for the most important pieces.
Yeah, I'm trying to get like the smaller stuff out of the way before we get to the bigger stuff.
Sure.
So, more Capcom news: a massive Resident Evil 7 demo is coming tonight,
or like the
update,
the last
update to
and they showed some more footage about the house, which I believe is the Mercer house, or something,
and more gameplay and more what looked like story in the trailer.
Tidbits,
tidbits of story.
I don't think that's.
And I swear that girl at the very end, that's the ghost girl that keeps appearing in the demo.
I mean, it could be.
Pretty fucking sure.
Why she's calling out to you and telling you to help her is beyond me. But
she's a ghost now.
A lot of it did remind me of Silent Hill. Just, and I don't mean Silent Hills, I don't mean PT, but just like the overall kind of ambiance of like Silent Hill 2, for example, which is fine. I think that honestly, we already saw this before, and we saw that with the first hour demo, but looks like they're really getting back on track with the franchise that lost its way 3 games ago.
Yeah,
well, I mean, people really like Revelations.
Oh yeah, but I mean, main.
I'd say that this is, you may as well call the other 3 ones that you said lost their way as spin-offs into the action universe. Well, while people still wanted the survival horror, which for a large part got lost because we lost tank controls.
Well, I mean, no, because Resident Evil 4.
Tank controls.
Resident Evil 4.
Tank control-ish.
You didn't have to play it that way, though.
You didn't?
No.
On the first one? Very first ever?
RE4, you didn't have to do tank controls.
And then, you see, I didn't know that. From what I knew, it was just forward, and then when you turn, you do you didn't actually strafe.
And then it didn't die there when Dead Space was still a survival horror game. despite having like the idea that you can move back while you're shooting. But yeah, I'm very looking forward to seeing this game play out. I really want to play it in VR. That's the experience I think people are waiting for. You know, a lot of people that bought a PSVR this fall were like, "This is the game for right now."
I don't know, man. It's gonna be so spooky.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be a spooky game.
A lot of like Sony's VR is going to be like based on how well Resident Evil 7 is.
I believe so. Yeah.
I will agree with you in that like both Ace Combat and Resident Evil are the AAA testers. Mm-hmm. And if they pass, more AAAs will say, okay, fine, we'll dip our toe in this.
Yeah.
But if they tank in any way, shape, or form, it's going to be the Vita all over again, where that thing is poisoned, don't touch it.
Yeah, because the Vita had a strong lineup at the beginning, and I think, and it might sound biased, but Uncharted Golden Abyss was a pretty good game for the Vita, and that was a launch game. But yeah, and then quickly the Vita kind of lost steam, despite whatever Gio Corsi says in this conference that we're looking at right now. Poor guy, bless his heart, but that system is on its way.
Bless his wacky glued hand.
Bless the Sony Kevin Smith.
He's the Sony Kevin Smith. Yeah, that should be his handle online. What's next, Capella?
All right, so we have Destiny has a holiday update, which is called The Dawning.
That's basically just races.
Yeah, it includes Sparrow Racing,
right,
and some
which
PvP
is a seasonal
stuff.
thing. It appears and disappears.
Yeah, so
that's the thing.
They have some new stuff there for Destiny.
Destiny's still a thing for a lot of people.
Maybe it'll hold people over till Destiny 2.
Sure.
Lara Croft Go is coming to PS4 and Vita.
Yeah, which is I think that. That game and Hitman Go and Deus Ex Go belong on Vita. Mm-hmm. Those are mobile games. They run great on a phone. So,
Then we have Knacked 2 being confirmed.
That was
the giant train wreck of a fucking game that somehow got a sequel.
I feel like that's like poor man's Iron Giant or something.
I mean, you know what? Like, it had some cool platforming ideas and stuff. The thing is that it was a big-ass train wreck that happened at the start of the PS4.
Do you think that game was just rushed to hell?
Or probably.
It was just
the thing. So the architect of the PS4, Mark Cerny, was also developing that game while he was making a platform. So I would imagine that there was some rush here and there.
Yeah.
Plus, who on earth greenlit a second game?
I don't know.
Like,
maybe they said this time we won't rush it, guys. We swear.
I mean, now they don't have to.
No, they don't.
But, like, if they do it again, they're just throwing money into the toilet. Like,
basically. So I don't think that game is going to sell. I mean, for all you know, it could be worth your time. Maybe it's got some cool concepts, right? But ultimately, I think it's like, first impression is if your first impression is a bad one, you're probably not going to want to take a look at it again.
That's usually how it is.
Yeah. I think Watch Dogs might break that exception for me. Watch Dogs still looks like it could be fun.
Yeah.
We need to lend that to you.
Well, you can't. Huh? You can.
Yeah.
I'll probably check it out.
We need to strap you down onto that chair with a whole bunch of duct tape.
Right.
Yeah, we'll cover you in maple syrup.
Batch me.
Yeah.
You got to quizzle batch you. So
you've been quizzle batched.
Let me see. Ni no Kuni 2 is getting a release in 2017.
Which was previously announced, but it wasn't confirmed for the West. Mm-hmm. And I believe it's called The Revenant King.
I think it's The Revenant Kingdom.
Something like that,
Something like that.
Looks very cool. Also, we don't know whether Studio Ghibli is involved directly in it, like they were the first game.
It looks like the same art style, but maybe they're just keeping the art style.
Which I think is a huge probability.
Yeah.
Because I imagine that Studio Ghibli is they're working on some stuff now, so maybe...
Especially since Miyazaki is coming out of retirement again.
For one more movie?
Yeah.
I was about to say he's supposed to say something really dumb. He's the Japanese Hideo Kojima, but he is Japanese.
And he was born before Hideo Kojima.
He's the Hideo Kojima of animated movies.
Of yesteryear.
He's the Hideo Kojima of Hideo Kojimas.
What? He out Kojima?
I want him to be in Death Stranding. Real quick. So we didn't actually talk about Death
Stranding. That's one thing that we should tie in. Like, cause there is sort of there was the confirmation that, Kojima is partnering with Killzone Horizon dev Guerrilla for Death Stranding using their engine.
Which I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called Decima.
Decima.
Yeah. So real quick, the trailer that they showed off at the Game Awards after he received his Icon Award, which I know we're backtracking, Capello, but we didn't mention that one. That was a big award because he was stripped of it last year by Konami. But I think that the one thing I thought was maybe a little awkward was the fact that Jeff Keighley basically was proposing to the man for 5 minutes. And I understand. Praise, I believe he deserves a praise. But the previous Icon Awards were given in a more elegant way. Plus, they had like a little 5 minute documentary. Like, here's a history of this person. They didn't do that with Kojima.
It was just Keighley fangirling all
basically,
over him.
And almost there were a couple moments where I thought he was gonna cry. Like he looked so into the moment.
I need to see this one specific section.
Yeah, it's actually near the beginning. So after Kojima accepted the award, they showed a Death Stranding trailer, which is bonkers as shit. Didn't make any fucking sense to me.
Featuring the Mads Mikkelsen,
the one and only Mads Mikkelsen,
and Guillermo del Toro.
So if he can't work with him, he's gonna just star in his game.
He's gonna star in his game,
which I think is interesting.
I'm completely fine with this.
Yeah, that's fine. I like.
I want him to be like the main character or like the buddy of the main character.
That's Norman Reedus.
I mean, Norman Reedus is the main character, and I can't tell whether Mads Mikkelsen is
antagonist or just a character.
Don't know.
I'm almost like, look how sinister
he looks. Very sinister.
I'm almost certain that he's going to be the antagonist.
But you think he's going to be the character that keeps appearing throughout the area through multiple boss fights, and then like at the very end you have to befriend him or kill him?
Before we recorded this, there was a keynote. A panel with Kojima. Key-Lime. And he did mention, according to some tweets that I saw, that Mads Mikkelsen character was going to play a main role in the game. Because of course he would.
I mean,
you're going to get who now is a huge actor because he's in,
Hannibal.
He's in Hannibal.
He is Hannibal.
He is Hannibal. Star Wars now, and
which I haven't seen.
Doctor Strange. So yeah, but okay, yeah, that was a fucking weird ass trailer that didn't show shit, but I want to play the living shit out of.
Catchy and interesting. The mysterious.
He always picks really good music for his trailers.
He's a master at that, man.
Okay, Capello, before I derail you any further.
Yeah, we should have talked about Death Stranding anyway. So
yeah.
That was a big one.
Yep.
Let me see. It said Ni no Kuni.
Yeah, we talked about Ni no Kuni already.
Knack 2.
That's where we stopped.
A trailer for Ace Combat 7 also.
Oh, right. They did put a trailer for Ace Combat 7, which looks very much like very futuristic-y.
I think that the moment where Benny saw the lasers and he went lasers, it's like, I don't think it looks... Okay, it's in the future, but I don't think... It's very clear that lasers aren't the main weapons. Because you still see...
There are bullets.
Yeah, you do see standard jet weapons as well.
Yeah, it's just that...
You want like an authentic...
That felt so out of place.
You think so?
To me.
Okay.
I mean, you didn't see the giant fucking stick going into the sky? Like, that didn't catch you?
Well, that's a building. It doesn't matter to me. What matters
really
is
nothing on Earth right now that is that tall.
The weaponry on the realistic jet. That doesn't match. That's the one thing. It's a nitpick. At most, it's a nitpick.
I know, I understand. But if they're going to have a tower going to the fucking sky, they're going to have laser weapons.
Yeah, right. You can't have one without the other.
Exactly.
Well, while we're at it, we should have fucking helium balloons carrying giant bears and dropping them off.
But yeah, so that one is coming out sometime next year, and it does have VR support.
Yep.
Because of course it fucking would. It needs it.
Oh, it's going to be amazing on VR.
It'll be interesting.
No,
I hope it's not just a 3-minute mission or something. I hope it's
who knows,
a whole maybe it's like VR optional and it's a little check mark and you check it. All of the missions are in VR.
We'll see.
That game looks too damn good.
Looks pretty decent.
Alright, well, I mean, there's a couple of other like notable things, like the Nier Automata March 17 release confirmation.
That looks pretty cool. I don't know if I'll play it personally, but it looks cool.
Todd, we need to strap you the fuck down to a chair and you're gonna play Nier Automata.
Well, actually, speaking of other Japanese games, they also had that new one. What's it called? Neo
Neo, yes.
Neo.
Right.
I believe that was just a confirmation date, wasn't it?
I
think so.
So
that
that
it's
was a
coming
demo
out next year.
There was a beta for it this year, right?
There were two, actually.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Did you play that, Ben?
I didn't get to play it. I did see people play it though.
It looks very. So it's from Team Ninja, right? The guys who previously made Ninja Gaiden. It looks very Dark Souls-ish.
Well, that's what a lot of people are comparing it to, and they're calling it Japanese Dark Souls.
Well, I mean, Dark Souls is Japanese, anyways.
No, well,
but like in terms of the setting,
the setting.
Okay, yeah.
And that where you're fighting like Japanese style demons
or feudal Japan,
yokai-ish type of things, and you find samurai armor, and most of your weapons are like naginatas and samurai swords and very Japanese oriented weaponry, and compared to Dark Souls, where it's I guess you could say very European knight's armor type of thing.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of Japanese games. Danganronpa is one of them.
Yes, Danganronpa 3.
I think there's a lot of games.
Yeah, Danny, you don't get your bit.
I think there's a lot of games there that are worth mentioning, but just pass by. The
Yakuza remake plus Yakuza 7 or Yakuza
Yaiba.
Something,
wasn't it?
It's
Yakuza Yaiba.
Kiwami.
Kiwami.
What was Yaiba? That was something else. It doesn't matter.
Konami. Yakuza Konami.
Of course, Last Guardian, they showcased a little bit.
That's coming out next week. They don't need to show any more of that, but of course, because it's a Sony...
they have to mention it.
Look, we're bringing it back. Yeah. Remember, guys?
I hope to be playing... I'm probably not going to play that one soon, but at least before the year ends.
I'm not going to play that game.
I have an immense respect for that team, so I think I probably will play it. But I got to finish Dishonored. But
Final Fantasy 15.
Final Fantasy. That's right. Well, when you guys are done with that, and then we'll switch out.
Fuck, dude. Fuck. Well, this is looking giant.
Of course, we got the giant bombshell that was Windjammers.
Windjammers, yeah.
Windjammers. Pew pew pew.
There's gonna be a lot of people happy about Windjammers.
I love Windjammers.
Come on and jam. Something about Windjammers.
The DLC for Gravity Rush 2.
Right. Would you
play free DLC for Gravity Rush 2?
So apparently a lot of people wanted to play Raven.
Through popular request.
The popular request. That's cool. I love when they do that.
We got a little more from Horizon Zero Dawn.
Which, this is the kind of thing, I think that game, it's supposed to come out in February as well. It's very close. I remember when, I think it was actually Assad Quizzlebosh that said, hey, we're not very far from playing Horizon Zero Dawn. That game looks incredible. Don't think I need to see any more of it. Just fucking bring it out. Just bring it out, man.
So, I mean, they've shown quite a bit of gameplay.
They have.
So.
It was announced, not this E3.
The last before. E3, they had, a nice chunk.
Yeah, they did.
Of game.
Yeah, so that game looks incredible. And that is going to be absolutely the next big hit for them. I have a feeling that it's too big to fail. I think it's going to do it.
It might, yeah. People will probably just pick it up because it looks so good, yeah.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of other little indie things like really Pyre and Vane.
Pyre looks incredible.
Pyre looks great. Yeah.
Vane looks interesting, but it's like I told you before. Like in the past couple of Sony conferences, I've seen, and even in the Gamescom conferences that happen in Germany, they announce a lot of really cool small indie games that look very primitive and open world and puzzle based, and then I never hear from them again. So I wonder, I think to make a point, I'm going to keep an eye on the Vane game to see if that actually ends up coming out.
The Vane game.
Yeah.
The Vane game, yeah.
We got some news of Dreadnought coming to PS4. And, let's see, what remains of Edith Finch, which looks pretty interesting.
Very cool concept. Yeah.
Yeah. And that might have been everything, Todd.
Well, no,
that was everything.
I think that might have been everything, Todd.
No, man. I'm pretty sure there's one really important
wrap
thing
it up
about the
and the podcast. This is it.
DJ Jesus, I have the con.
This has been shut down. Todd's mic right now.
This is we're cut it off right now.
Just right now.
So okay.
we did get just something, just a tiny little thing.
It's a small thing.
It's so insignificant, really.
No one played it. It was in early access.
Man, it wasn't even important. It was just a small little thing that happened.
Very small independent game made by 4 people.
Shitty soundtrack.
Just wasn't very good.
Horrible online component. Didn't work. There was a lot of lawsuits going on, and we're just making stuff up. So, Sean Layden showed off a little clip of The Last of Us. A pre-rendered video.
Part Deuce.
It's like fucking
gunshots.
Literally, we've been saying for like the past like 2 E3s and PlayStation
there was a
experience.
specific podcast where we talked about it for like 30.
Capello and I have talked about it multiple times at this point.
Yeah, totally. It's like, man, wouldn't it be really cool if this E3 they showed us blah, 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 blah. And then like I wasn't even thinking about it.
No, me
at
either.
all,
because it was so unlikely.
Yeah, no,
because they just released the game,
and
Naughty Dog opened with more DLC for said game, which is Uncharted 4, right?
And that's why whenever it's E3, that we always expect the big ones on E3.
Yeah.
And that's why on the E3 podcast, pre-E3 podcast, that's when we talked about it.
Yeah, we did.
And we weren't expecting
Real quick, before we get into it, I feel like this might be a weird... I want to know if you guys picked up on this maybe, or if it's just me. Does this... Because they're willing to show off more at their own conference that happens in December, which just happened, do you feel they're kind of moving away from a traditional E3 like Nintendo did a couple years back?
Everybody's doing it.
That's true,
everybody is doing it because it's just better to do it that way.
Yeah, I guess. Sure.
That the only reason E3 is still so prominent is because the press needs something.
Sure. And I mean, not just the press. I mean, we all tune into E3. E3 is a thing. It's still a thing, despite how much smaller and smaller it's gotten over the years, because game announcements happen there.
Yeah, I mean, they announced Final Fantasy VII Remake, which we didn't see at PSX. We didn't see any more.
We're not going to see any of that from
fans.
Was it Shenmue was announced at E3?
E3, yeah.
Like there was there's still a good thing to do.
Shit still happens at E3. Publishers save game announcements for E3, and this is the thing. Publishers go, it's like 5 months ahead of time to prepare for E3. Mm-hmm. I follow a bunch of people from like Ubisoft on Twitter, and they're like, hey, we're preparing for E3. It's like, holy shit, it's like half a year away.
Yeah.
But The Last of Us Part 2 was something you would have assumed they'd show at E3, because that's the biggest stage you could have shown it at.
And again, like, it's not like it's going to come out on Xbox.
It's not, no.
Mm-hmm. So, I think that PlayStation Experience is, it's a good place to do it.
It's very much its own thing.
It's such a big, that was a stinger.
Yeah.
That was just a gigantic stinger.
Look at that man hand.
We're watching it right now.
It doesn't even look good. That does look like hands that have worked to the bone.
Yeah.
Man hand.
So, I guess we can give a quick rundown. So basically, it opens up with, it's kind of like the camera's panning outwards, and you see a car. And right when I saw the car, I remember, is this what's that game called? Days Gone?
Days Gone. Yeah.
Days Gone
based game.
Because it's also very, very similar in tone and in setting. But then, obviously when you get to the stop sign, the upside down stop sign that has a Firefly logo. Yeah, it went ballistic.
It's just,
started
as
slapping
soon as we
Todd's
saw
arm.
that, yeah.
That's a Firefly logo. That is, it's confirmed. This is happening.
Yep.
And then we cut to the inside.
Yeah, so someone picks up guitar. We think it's Joel for a little bit, but the hands look too young to be Joel because he plays guitar, right?
And there's a tattoo.
Also, it's very clear that Joel did teach Ellie how to play guitar, because those were the last promises he made before they went back to his brother's settlement. I think it was in Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a very well done trailer. There's a lot of bodies on the floor. She obviously killed a bunch of people.
She killed a lot of
with
people.
a machete.
There's a lot of blood, coming down her face. And then someone comes in who we think, at first I think some of us thought it was just another Firefly, or maybe she turns around and shoots him, and that's how it ends. But it's Joel, right?
Yeah, it's totally him.
It's very much Joel. You don't see his face, do you?
No.
You see the side of his face,
yeah.
And that's where you can tell. it's his hair and his like scruffy bearded.
Also the way he walks too, and right there you can tell tell it's him. Old Man Logan.
The Old Man Logan.
Oh no, this isn't Old Man Logan. Old Man Logan doesn't kill people.
He doesn't.
Yeah, Old Man Logan is a pacifist.
Then what's the fucking point of this new movie that they're making?
He teaches the new Wolverine, which is X-23.
X-23, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, well, back to The Last of Us, because that's happening right behind us.
Don't turn around. It's happening behind you right now.
It's an extremely well-made trailer, and it's very clear, according to Sean Lennon, this is very early on. There's no gameplay, it's just a pre-rendered footage. We don't know how long ago this was made, but I'm guessing a 2018 release, latest 2019. This is not coming out next year, people. This is not coming out in 2017. There's no fucking way.
There's no way.
Absolutely not.
There's no way in hell that this is a 2017 release.
Naughty Dog were perfectionists with that first game, so they're not going to make shortcuts.
And again, not a single cordyceps or fungus-like thing.
The thing is that you don't even need it. Like you don't need to showcase the cordyceps. You don't need to showcase it. Like the moment that you saw a firefly symbol, you know the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, we know the world, but what's the condition right now?
Well, I mean,
that's to be explored.
The forest is taking everything back from the looks of it.
Well, the forest are already taking everything back.
Already doing that in the first game.
I mean, this is the thing for me with this franchise and with a lot of other things like The Walking Dead. People don't watch The Walking Dead for the zombies. People watch it for the relationships that are made and the fact that the human element is more dangerous than the zombie element. And in this case, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
The fireflies, the scavengers, the
government.
bandits. They're more, the government. Yeah, exactly. So, nobody was expecting that trailer.
No.
Nobody.
Unfortunately, like this trailer did something very sad, in which killed our cool hype theories that we had.
The idea of an extended universe not having to do with them anymore.
Yeah,
because that ending was perfect. But this is the thing. I think that it's very clear that maybe this was the intention all along, that their story was going to continue.
Yeah, and it is Ellie when she's a lot older.
It should be noted. This isn't Last of Us 2. This is Last of Us Part 2. It's still connected to the first one, so it would naturally make sense that it would still have characters from the past. Which, fine. Seems okay.
We were gonna be happy about it. If anything, like with any,
it could
as
have
long
been,
as it had The Last of Us attached to it, we were gonna be happy.
It could have been two completely unknown characters. It could have been Tess there for some reason. We would have still gone, okay.
Yeah.
I bite.
I think that was a great way to close it out. And then that's literally how it closed. There was no goodbye. The goodbye was before the
the goodbye was, hey, look at this shit.
Right, yeah.
You want to see some shit?
Now, that's going to get people talking. And this is the thing. Theories will come until the game is released. And I think you and I will be talking about it for a little while.
Probably.
Because there's a lot. I think that we can probably go through an analysis of it on our own and see.
Like, what's going on.
There has to be clues. There's clues in everything. But I think overall, really good conference. A little bit of sprinkles of a little bit of everything for everyone. Big games, small games, VR.
Some sports in there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of everything. I mean, it looks like the future is very bright for the PlayStation ecosystem. And
some great games coming.
Excellent games. Yeah. I'm very happy. Actually, one thing that they didn't really show anything about, which, I mean, I guess maybe it's understandable, which is Persona.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. That's coming out soon, though.
It should be.
That's coming out in February. No, it's not. It's coming out later.
Yeah.
They moved the date. It was like, what, March?
Or
April?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't, just mention that.
The same thing with Final Fantasy VII.
Sure.
You'd think that they'd have something there. Especially since they're predicting that the first part of it is coming in 2017.
Yeah, that's something for E3, I think.
It would likely be an E3, maybe a Sony experience again next year.
Totally possible. Yeah, I think especially this year, I would have loved to have gone this year because obviously the conference is great. They were going to have Kojima there for a panel and for a signing. I think that in the future, I mean, maybe we'll consider that. to go some year. And for me in particular, instead of going to
There's
PAX,
something that was going to happen that they were going to have Kojima also, but I don't remember too well.
well, so it was the Game Awards that had him. He was there, and of course, the Game Awards and PlayStation Experience happened in the same area. So
It was going to be a panel where Jeff Keighley just serenades Kojima.
No, I think it was going to be a Rooster Teeth event that was going to have Kojima, but it was going to be in Australia.
Really?
PAX Australia,
I'm not sure.
because there was PAX Australia.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, the conference was pretty good.
It was great. Yeah. It was a really good
I
conference.
think we all walked away with something we absolutely were looking forward to.
At least one.
At least
favorite
one
thing.
Marvel vs. Capcom.
Well, fuck.
Infinite.
It could be the same thing. It doesn't matter.
No, it's just... It's hard to say just one.
Okay.
And I'd say I want to see more of Let It Die, which is out right now.
Yeah. Which we didn't talk about Let It Die, but that's...
New Grasshopper game.
It's very Grasshopper, and
free to play.
Grasshopper has gone silent for a good while. And all they've
That's
ever...
what they do, though. Like, they make a game, and it's like, okay, bye. And then, like, 4 years later, they're like, hey, we have another game.
We have something. Hey, you want to see some shit?
It's like storks dropping off babies.
Yeah. And, of course, the stinger at the end. Who didn't want that? Who
Right,
didn't get their minds blown?
Yeah.
Out of everything that they could have
Ace
shown,
Combat
I
7.
was not expecting Last of Us at all.
I
No.
think that this is the thing a lot of people...
And, he even, joked, like, it's a little thing we got together. It's still in beta and whatnot.
Yeah.
I was thinking a new IP.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was
Yeah,
something.
me too. I was thinking new IP. They've been very progressive in terms of, hey, let's not rely 100% on our old stuff. Horizon, that's a new IP. They're taking a tried and true developer that develops one thing and they're doing something else. But yeah, I think the biggest surprise is obviously where Marvel vs. Capcom Ultimate, right? Nobody expected that, right?
Yeah, nobody.
Windjammers.
Windjammers.
And
man, you could say
it's not a big game, but it's like nobody in their right mind would have expected that to be a
it to
thing.
come out. Yeah.
and it's also like super fun.
It's great. It's a fun game.
Like
It's a
people
cult classic.
really, people love Windjammers.
And of course, The Last of Us, which no one expected either. I'll probably go with The Last of Us just out of principle.
Yeah,
Even though there was no gameplay, there don't need to be no gameplay for that game.
I'll give a runner up to Akuma because he looks dope as fuck.
Yeah, Oh god, there's Jeff Keighley. Well, I think on that note, did you call it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Overwatch, the winner
Shout
of
outs to
all
the
big
awards.
events, all the awards.
Overwatch won for the best Overwatch award.
Best Titanfall gameplay.
It goes to Overwatch.
No,
Yes.
that's still
With Bastion.
still Titanfall, man.
Best medieval fantasy Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Fucking good.
Best third person RPG turn based. Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Best sports racing game Overwatch.
Best game for Impact. Overwatch.
Best Overwatch for Overwatch.
And the
Best
annual,
voice acting.
The annual Quizzlebotch
Overwatch.
award goes to Overwatch.
Best voice acting goes to Overwatch.
Actually-
not the people who voiced it. The game itself won best voice acting.
When Overwatch won, it wasn't for best design. The guy who went up there, he made a Harambe joke.
Oh, really?
He
Really?
did, yeah.
Because Winston.
Probably because of Winston. I think he said, keep him out for Harambe. I'm pretty sure you're not going to say pull your dicks out for Harambe on a stage of an award show. I've seen crazier things, but
Best Harambe award goes to Overwatch.
Overwatch. But,
Goes to Winston.
Goes to Winston from
For
Overwatch.
Overwatch.
That's a heavy trophy. Okay, cool. Well, guys, we'll see you, I guess, next week. Things are a little different. Things are changing slowly. No, but they're changing.
Hopefully Todd actually uploads one of these for once.
This one will get uploaded.
One of these.
Because it's very relevant.
we have
it's
three
so
of them.
funny that we were so proud and like, well, yeah, we haven't missed a single fucking week. The moment we
Okay, so
3 weeks
real
in a
quick.
row.
No,
the moment we said that, we just fucked
so
it.
for Thanksgiving week, there was
We fucked it.
some shit happened that was not related to Thanksgiving that I couldn't get around. So yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why I need a backup plan for everything. Which I didn't have.
Then we were joking around with special guest Quizzlebatch.
Quizzlebatch.
And I mean, we were talking about it, and they were like, "Yeah, we're so good about this. We haven't dropped a single one. Never. Fucking never. It's
gonna happen
never
at some
done that.
point.
Then from that week onwards, so
We just fucked it.
it was just it was the retrospective, and then like none of our podcasts.
No, and Danny's
and Danny's interview.
No, this will go up. Don't worry about that. I guarantee it. But yeah, okay. Well, bye. We're done.
If you could, wait, just 1 second. Hold up, please. No.